MSNBC talked to some Trump supporters, and one in particular said something very concerning. And we'll look at this. Y'all know I've talked to a lot of Trump supporters on the ground at events, and always stunning stuff comes of it. But this one is something you'll occasionally hear that does kind of reveal to us how severe the rhetoric is getting on the subject of Trump's legal troubles. And this individual was asked, if Trump is found guilty by a jury, what do you think should be done? And you'll see her answer. And then we'll connect it to a recent story in the news that is also very concerning and portrays a similar buy-in to these lies.
Let me just play some Trump voters recently in New Hampshire. And this is New Hampshire, not even in Dixie. Take a listen.
That's Nazi Germany Hitler. You can't silence your political opponents because you don't agree with them. Joe Biden should be in prison for his bribes.
The vote was stolen. I believe it in my heart. Remember, they blew up one of
I don't make fun of accents.
the election quarters where they kept all of the Dominion machines. Why'd that blow up?
If Donald Trump were to be found guilty by a jury, where do you see this going?
Civil war. Civil war. Divide it up because we can't live together, obviously.
And if he wants me to protect them, I'm going to go in there. I'm going to let him know that I'll do it.
It's easy to say.
Yikes. Again, we'll get to an example of someone who bought into those same lies and the disturbing outcome of that. But first, you heard the Trump supporter say that if Trump is found guilty by a jury, then I guess we're going to have a civil war because we can't live together. What? I think everyone on the left, everyone that I'm aware of, would say if Biden was charged with crimes and then found guilty of committing those crimes in a court of law, he got his due process, then even if I like the Inflation Reduction Act, he should absolutely serve his sentence. That's how the system should work, no matter who it is. But in the mind of that Trump supporter and many others, if our guy is held accountable legally, then civil war. And what is so unfortunate is they would say, yeah, but Biden did worse crimes and he's not going to have to be found guilty in a court of law. And that's why this is all terrible. But see, when you look at the actual evidence being brought forward, that's not the reality. If new evidence comes to surface and Biden is this big criminal, then that's a different conversation. And he absolutely should be subjected to the justice system. But as of now, it happens to be your guy. Sorry to tell you. But there's actual evidence, as is alleged and then backed up, some publicly that we have, some publicly we don't yet have, to the crimes that Trump potentially committed. An example of this is we can listen to him on a recording saying, I have this classified document and I'm not supposed to do it, and it hasn't been declassified, and something to that effect. Obviously, that's not a direct quote. And so if an individual, no matter how much you like them, no matter how many times you would have voted for them, is guilty of a crime, and we'll see if that's the outcome of Trump's cases, then they should be held accountable under the law. And the fact that that's the response is really, really concerning. And another individual bought into these talking points and threatened Joe Biden. And now, after FBI agents were serving an arrest warrant at his home, got shot dead. As BBC reports, man who threatened Biden shot dead in FBI raid in Utah. A man who posted violent threats against President Joe Biden and other officials online was shot dead during an FBI raid on Wednesday. Agents were attempting to serve an arrest warrant on Craig Robertson at his home in Utah, just hours ahead of a planned visit to the state by Mr. Biden. And it notes some of these quotes that he put out on Facebook. I hear Biden is coming to Utah, digging out my old ghillie suit and cleaning the dust off the M24 sniper rifle. Perhaps Utah will become famous this week as the place a sniper took out Biden, the Marxist. And he also talked about something in a different post I saw that's not in this article, it being a good day for a presidential assassination or something like that, mentioning a presidential assassination. And then because obviously the FBI is going to be concerned with that, they ended up arriving at his residence to serve an arrest warrant. And it escalated. We don't know the specifics right now, so I'm not speaking to the specifics of how it got there, but this individual was shot and died based on that confrontation, based on him threatening Biden and Alvin Bragg and others, who are the targets of Donald Trump's rhetoric. And then this is the outcome. And so when we talk about these lies and we call them out, this is why it's important. Because now we have a bunch of people in this country believing it's time for a civil war, or it will be if Trump's held accountable legally, or if that's the outcome of his legal cases. And it's really scary. And then you have people making threats like this, and then it leading to that outcome. And lies really can have consequences, as is being made clear with the cult around Trump and what some of those cult members are willing to do. Make sure you are subscribed to the YouTube channel. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to be a part of what makes this show possible, plus get access to the full video version of the show hours before all the clips are able to be uploaded to the YouTube channel, plus get the bonus show on the weekends, you can do so by going to lukebeasleyshow.com/membership. That's lukebeasleyshow.com/membership, and there's a link in the description.